Okay, so welcome to Sundays with Spirit. I will be the host today. My name is Angela Potts-Mang'andah, and I love to be here. And I'm here with lots of friends today. And we have a really fun panel of speakers today. So we're in for a treat. And we will start like we always do. Everything in the ministry starts with a prayer. So I am going to say a prayer to get us started. So if you would like to join me, if you place your hands on your heart or find a way of being that you can relax and center, take a nice deep breath. So deeply grateful to be joining for the purpose of representing He who sent us. Grateful to join with the purpose of aligning our vibration with the love that we are. So grateful for the power of Love Ministry, for the programs and the support and all the opportunities we have to connect, because our joining is powerful, it's uplifting, it reminds us who we are and what we are here for in truth. So we bless this time together. We know it's blessed because we have come together, open-minded, open-hearted, willing to receive a healing, willing to be inspired, and willing to allow Spirit to orchestrate all things. So we are relaxed. We are relying on Spirit so we can enjoy this time together. We share the healing benefits with all beings everywhere. And so in gratitude, we let it be. We know it's done, and so it is. Amen. Great. Okay, so welcome. We will start with anyone who'd like to share where you are joining from and what your intention is for being here. It's always, I feel like it always enhances the experience to set your intention. So if you'd like to take a moment, we can say where we're joining from. So I'm going to do that too. Okay, I'm so excited. There's two people. Well, there's many Rhode Islanders here today. We are representing. Oh, yay, we have Somerville. Excellent. Okay, excellent. Thanks for being here, Dean. Yay, Iowa. Forgive. Beautiful. And Bernadette, way up there in Ontario. It's good to see you. Sun Valley, Idaho is one of my friends' favorite places in the world. Okay, we got New Mexico. Here we are. We're here today. We're so excited. We begin with introducing our musical guest. And the fun thing is, she's a dear friend of mine. And so I am so grateful to have suggested that Chaia May come and join us at Sundays with Spirit. So I'm going to bring her on here and I will introduce her. So I'm clicking around behind the scenes. Here we go. So there's Chaia. And to tell you a little bit about Chaia, you know, first I can just say she's a beautiful human being who lives the Course in Miracles. So she is approved. And here's her bio. Chaia is presently working at the Rhode Island Philharmonic Music School in Providence, Rhode Island, teaching voice, piano, and guitar for all ages, as well as group classes for young children. She studied voice, theater, and storytelling, and performed as a folk and jazz singer for many years. She composes songs and loves to express herself, her spirituality through music, poetry, prose, and movement. Chaia loved leading a movement to prayer class for women, incorporating yoga, dance, meditation, poetry, and song. Booklets and CDs are available. Chaia has some published books And so we'll learn more about that later. Fun fact for people who know Justine, Justine has played many a time on Chaia's piano and even kind of conducted more so, right? So we've had lots of fun with Chaia. So Chaia, I hand it over to you.
Well, thank you. That was lovely. Thank you. This is just a folk song that I thought everyone may have come across in their lifetime. And I think it's called A Song for Judith. We used to sing it at camp. Love is but a song we sing. Here's the way we die. You can make the mountain green, angels cry. No people now, not only mother, I love one another right now. People now, I love one another, I love one another, I be one another right now.
Beautiful. Chaia, thank you. But we lost you in there. I wonder if you have your audio settings on for musician.
Oh my goodness. I didn't reset it. Let's
Okay.
see. Ah, shucks. It says original sound for musicians off. Uh-oh. Now it's on.
Okay.
Oh goodness. Okay. Is that
Maybe you
better?
run it.
Pardon me?
Maybe if you could repeat, we'll continue.
Yeah, I can sing it again. Sure. Is that what you want? Is that what you said, Angela? Okay. That was my practice. Love is but a song we sing. Here's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring or hear the angels cry. Know that love is on the wing. We need not know why. Come on, people now, call on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, call on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another, try to see one another, try to feel one another right now. Better? Great.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, what a beautiful way to start us off. I love that. Love the contribution that artists make to this world. It's so clear when I am in this role about how the music puts us right in our heart. So thank you so much, Chaia. And now I am bringing on a whole team of people, but I think we'll start with Karen. I am going to introduce Karen, and then Karen's going to bring on her gang, her crew, her compadres. Okay, so with Karen, I'm going to do a little intro. I have a very deep, sacred relationship with this beautiful woman. So it'll be fun to hear her bio. Maybe you'll learn something new if you're a close friend of hers. So Karen Carothers is a 77-year-old student of A Course in Miracles, and since 1996. She and her husband, Rich, who will be here today, resided in Oklahoma City for 48 years, and first learned about Jennifer Hadley in February of 2012, when a stranger spoke so highly about Jennifer's Tuesday talks. Karen and Rich listened and were both immediately drawn to Jennifer's teachings and the Power of Love ministry. Karen did Finding Freedom 2 times and participated in Masterful Living and the Ascension Pathway group, our 4th year of Masterful Living. Karen and Rich joined and led mastery circles and enjoyed each and every prayer partnership to which they were assigned. And so prayer partners being part of Masterful Living. It was those partnerships that spawned the small ACIM study group that she and 7 others will be sharing their stories about today. So, Karen, maybe before I bring on our team, is it possible to give a background about how it started? Is that part of
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll bring on your friends as you're sharing.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Angela. So I want to thank everybody who's here as a participant, coming together to share about our morning and afternoon groups. Is really a pleasure. This is something that was begun during COVID when we were all home. And as Angela said, while Rich and I lived in Oklahoma City for 48 years, I'm going to give you a little background. We moved to Rhode Island in 2016, and we met Angela in Masterful Living when she was living in Africa. Now, what are the odds that this person I meet then is going to be someone that I live in the same city with? It was inconceivable. We now live in the same city, just walking distance apart. That is kind of the launching pad of how these groups got started as well. When we lived in Oklahoma City, the way we got to know Angela was a very strange miracle as well. We were in a study group in our neighborhood, and 2 women showed up one day, and one of them said, "Have any of you heard of Jennifer Hadley?" And we said no. And she's got this wonderful podcast on living A Course in Miracles. And it struck a bell for both Rich and me. So we decided that we would check out the podcast. It was the month of February, and she was talking about, because of Valentine's Day, holy relationships versus special relationships. And as soon as I heard it, and he heard it independently, we both came together and said, this is good. And we started listening regularly. Living A Course in Miracles is what really grabbed me, in addition to the content of her talks. And the reason was I'd been reading A Course in Miracles once a week, studying it a little bit. I actually memorized the 365 lessons at one point, but living A Course in Miracles was a whole new concept for me. And so I was very eager to consider that. And that's how our journey with Jennifer began. And it proceeded. We went to a retreat with her in California. I invited her to come to Oklahoma City. She came, she stayed with us. We did a retreat there in Oklahoma City, which was wildly successful. We went on another retreat with her in California, and our relationship continued to bloom and grow. We joined Masterful Living, and that's where my prayer partnerships with the people that you're going to see on your screen, and they'll be introducing themselves, began to really expand. And those partnerships, I have to say, I was very nervous when I first was assigned to somebody, and I'd say, "Hi, I'm Karen," and somebody would introduce Kazi, would say, "Well, I'm Kazi, and where do you live?" And it would go from there, growing into what I can only describe as powerful and enduring relationships. During COVID, Robin Johnson, with whom I was also a prayer partner, said one day, I would love to do the lessons every day. And I've done them every day by myself, but it would be better for me if I had somebody to do them with. And I was like, great. So the next morning I called her and I said, let's do it. So we started reading the lesson together and talking about it. And that's how it got started. So we started to meet every morning at 7 o'clock. And as groups go, it expanded because other people heard what we were doing. And little by little, people who could come and join us at 7 o'clock began to do that. I was getting ready to go on Camino, and Robin was going to do that group on her own. And we talked about it, and she said it would be nice if there were more people. And sure enough, Dawn then said, well, I'd like to be in that group. And she joined the group. And then over time, Anna Marie joined. And of course, Rich was in there pretty soon after. My friend Erica, who I met in a study group from Cambridge, she joined. Franca joined. Kazi joined. Kazi joined our afternoon, and we'll talk about that later. Not only did we enjoy doing the lessons as a way of beginning the day, but then I recognized I had never read the text of the course from start to finish. And I was not going to do it by myself. It wasn't going to happen. So what happened was I said, hey, how about we form a group to do that? And that's when Kazi came, and Franca and Robin and Anna Marie and Rich. And we started doing that. And we have been doing it regularly ever since. So now I've read the text, I've studied the lessons, and all I can say is that for me, the miracles that have come out of that, the shifts in perception and the willingness to embrace living A Course in Miracles, I could spend hours and hours sharing with you all. But what I'm really excited about today is for each of you to meet these people who've been part of this process and let them speak a little bit from their own perspective, telling you where they are living and but how they came to A Course in Miracles and what their journey has been like. And so I'll begin with handing over the microphone to Dawn Harmon O'Connor.
Thank you, Karen. I'm so grateful to be with you all today in form, as I know we are all together as we are one. So thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself. I live in St. Augustine, Florida. I started Masterful Living in 2020, and I found Masterful Living through Jennifer's podcast, like many others, and was so grateful to have a lifeline in 2020. It was the spiritual therapy that I needed. And in year 3, I was lucky enough to have met Karen, who was a Mastery Circle co-facilitator. And I got to know her in 2022 and was invited to join this group. And we meet each morning. And I will talk about processes, about how the groups work and how they unfold. But the lesson group, we meet each morning, Monday through Friday, from usually 7 to 8 o'clock. It can be shorter. We tend to like to chat and share time, but that could be a shorter meeting. And then there's the reading group and the text group, and they gather at 5:30 for 20 minutes. So they wanted a commitment to gather, but they also wanted a commitment to closing it out so they can go about their evenings and dinners and all the other wonderful things that are happening in life. But for our morning lessons, we come together and we greet and we pray in. Occasionally, we'll use a prayer text. We like Jesus Calling. It's one that we lean on the regular. Or we'll just have a pray in. Robin, it has these beautiful prayers that we enjoy. Sometimes we do both. And then we go about reading the lessons. And the lessons are separated by sections. And we have a process for that. So there's an intro to every section, and we read each paragraph one time, and we rotate through the reading. Everybody gets to read. Who cares to read? But with the lesson itself, we read each paragraph 2 times. And that helps us focus. It helps us absorb and take on the meaning of the lesson. And after we read the lesson, we move to a companion guide. Now, this is not a requirement, but I have to tell you, I am so attached to these books. It's 2 volumes. You can buy them as a set. I can give you a link in the text if you'd like. This explains the lessons in what I'll use as layman's terms. It helps us digest and it guides us. We read the commentary and then we read the instructions for the day so that those set with us as we move into meditation. And we meditate for the prescribed amount of time, and then we discuss and we share and we pray out and we go about our day being blessed by coming together. and lighting our worlds and lighting one another's paths. In the afternoon, the process is very similar, only it's the text that's being read. They read the paragraphs twice, just like we do in the morning. There is not a companion guide, but they pray in, they greet, they pray in, they read, they discuss, they pray out. It's 20 minutes of grounding themselves in the text portion of the book. And occasionally I will join, but that's not usually as, doesn't fit in my schedule as well. But, and we've noticed that smaller groups are better. About 8 people is about max that we have join in the group. It's tricky to keep on track of who read when and who reads next, and sometimes it gets disjointed, and we laugh because that is the point. But we have found that the smaller groups work better for these text readings. So happy to answer any questions. I think we're going to have a little Q&A at the end. So thank you. I appreciate it. I look forward to getting to know everyone else.
All right, thank you, Dawn. Next is Erica.
Hi, my name's Erica, and I live in Somerville, Mass, which is just outside of Boston. And I came to Course in Miracles as to study in like the 20 teens, late 20 teens. However, I would say that I had a fiance in the mid 80s who was studying A Course in Miracles, and I've always had the box of cards with the different quotes on my work desks through the years. And then I was given the blue book in the mid 90s, and referenced it occasionally, but didn't really study at all in any formal sense. And then I came across another book. Another one came to me in like around 20 early teens, and I was like, this is a sign. Any case, there was a group that met at the Cambridge Friends Meeting House that I joined, and when COVID hit, we went online, and that is how Karen and Rich and I got connected, because they found out about the group and joined it. And so they introduced me to Jennifer Hadley and her work. So the point that I would like to focus on is that as someone relatively new to the studies, I really have enjoyed the group diversity and length of study. So we have Karen and Rich, who have been studying super long, and I'm not sure exactly how long everyone else anymore has been studying per se. But like the lessons, like when you're someone new, it's like there's times in the lessons when you're like, what the heck does that mean? Because if you're new, you're also still trying to figure it out, and you're wanting to learn, and you're like wanting to get it right, and then there's also the gift of being a new person and having a new take on something. So after our meditation, we have a discussion period where we reflect on what came up for us during the study group. And sometimes I have a slice that really strikes someone who's been studying for decades. So that's really, really rich about having a diversity of how long people have been studying. And also the richness of that is that when I don't get it, or when I'm struggling with something in life, I've learned to have a lot more self-compassion, because I see people who have been studying for a long time and still stuff comes up for them in life. And still there are, things to work on, or that feel like they have, there's a sense of struggle for a period of time. What I've learned is that, so that gave me the compassion of like, this is part of the human experience, and not something that there's something wrong with me that I'm not getting. And it also is like, then brings the awareness over time, like that the recovery is much faster. That you recover and you get back into the course and the lesson and into the mindset, or the back into love. You don't fall out of you don't fall into separation as long. And that has been a blessing to learn. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. Robin?
Thank you, Karen. Thanks, everybody. What a journey this has been for each of us and all of us. And we are so grateful and thankful to come together with an open heart and an open mind, and holding what is true in the love and light of Spirit, always with us, always opening to us as well. I find myself wanting to pray mostly, and so that's what I'm doing in this moment. There's so many stories in my journey about being with God in such a different way, and song and singing has become a little bit of an idea to practice. I'm speaking again, so that's good, but I'll just keep continuing for a moment. All the things that we learn when we get quiet and when we get silence. To me, I believe in the quiet, and it makes such a difference in my life when I wake up in a way that's uncomfortable, miserable, that when I wake up and come back home, it's so delightful, and it is a practice that we keep doing over and over and over. So that's my story is the same as their stories. And I've had all these lovely people and situations, and certainly the challenges that are always there. But let me just say, I'm so grateful to have this time with each of you, and that finding another really makes a difference, and you learn things about each other, and you take time to rest and stop and take that, what they've said, a pause, take a pause and use that as a way to be connected with our holy selves. And that is the piece that I'm working on now, is the quietness. I recognized quiet, the word quiet, one day in our blue book. I read the word quiet, and it was like, quiet. And I've learned that most often you'll find the word quiet or silence. Those words are in our daily words if we are paying attention. So I highly share the idea of using and thinking and carrying the simple words of quiet, quietness, stillness, come back home. And it really is breathtaking. I wish I wasn't so nervous, but anyway, thank you for coming and being with us, and just amen. Thanks.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you. And for those of you that might want to know, Robin lives in Richmond, Virginia, and she and I started being prayer partners years ago and set the intention that we would walk this path together, shoulder to shoulder. Thank you for doing this today, Robin. And next comes up Franca.
Thank you, Karen. Hello, everyone. My name is Franca Zadra, and I live in Northern Ontario in a town called Sudbury in Canada. So I guess I'm the lone Canadian in our groups. I was first introduced to A Course in Miracles by Gary Renard. And at one point in time, Gary happened to mention that he was being interviewed by Jennifer Hadley, and he encouraged us to have a listen. And I'm so, so glad that I did. Like others have commented, once they heard Jennifer speak and teach, they were immediately drawn in. And so after a while of listening to her podcasts, I decided to enroll in Finding Freedom. And then that led to Masterful Living and Ascension Pathway. Now, it may have been in Ascension Pathway. I'm not really sure of sequence, but I remember at one time, Karen Carothers admitting to me that she didn't read the spiritual books recommended in our classes from cover to cover. And I confessed that it was the same for me. And she had the brilliant idea that we form a group and actually read books together. And so I know we've read a book on trauma, a book on the Enneagram, and we've also read A Course in Miracles. All right. And so I'm so, so grateful for that suggestion, because I don't think I would have read it on my own. And we did read it in its entirety, the text and the manual for teachers. And as Karen has already offered, we have a separate group for the workbook lessons. So I love participating in the workbook lesson group in the morning. It begins at 7 a.m. I'm not really a morning person, but I've learned to become one. And the morning group is so helpful to me because it helps me to set my intention for the day. And it's namely to be more loving, to be more open to guidance, and to remember the truth of what I am. And I also love having the opportunity to bless my family, my loved ones, and the members of the group. I love connecting to like-minded souls. No one else in my circle is interested in A Course in Miracles at all. And so I'm so grateful for the connection of these groups. And I also appreciate the groups because of their support and their prayer. Whenever we have a prayer request, they're very willing to pray. And it's an opportunity to come together and share. During our morning meditation time, I often jot down points from the lessons, and then I just stay quiet, and these thoughts come to me. And these are insights, and I know that they're not my own. I know that it's Holy Spirit speaking to me. And then afterwards, during our share time, I often get a message from Holy Spirit through one of the group participants. I know they say something that is meant for me, and I find that extremely helpful. I love starting the groups with prayers, and in the afternoon group, we include breathing, deep breathing with our opening prayer. And because it's later in the day, it just helps me to recalibrate and to center. So I find that really helpful as well. Overall, the groups help me to be committed to my spiritual practice, to actually live A Course in Miracles and not just study it, to remember to laugh and to focus on the light. And I'm so, so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Franca. Rich?
Let's see, I have to mute. No, I'm unmuted. This is one of the things we do in this group. Decide, are we muted? Are we unmuted? Who's muted? And it causes a great deal of laughter and pleasure trying to figure out who's muted and unmuted. You may have had that experience in groups that you're in on Zoom as well. Well, as has been pointed out, my name is Rich Carothers. I'm married to Karen for 50-some years, and a long time we're married together, and we have walked on many paths together as well. I was going to add a little wrinkle to how we found out about Jennifer Hadley, because we were in this group that met on Sunday nights, and these two women came to the group, and it was an open group, so people could come. There was no, you didn't have to have an invitation. So these two women, no one knew them. They walked in. At the end, as Karen pointed out, they said, "Have you ever heard of Jennifer Hadley?" And we said, "Yeah, no, we haven't." "Well, she has this podcast. You might want to listen to it." So we did. And the next Sunday, these two women showed up again, and they said, "Did you guys get a chance to listen to Jennifer Hadley?" And we said, "Yeah, we did. And we really liked her." And they said, "Great." And then we never saw them again. They never came back to the group. I never could trace them down to who had recommended the group, or I really tried. But I just think they were angels that thought, hey, these guys need to listen to Jennifer Hadley. So we'll send these two angels to this group in Oklahoma City, give them an invitation. So I think that's the way miracles work. I'm very happy to be here and to be part of this wonderful group of people. I think it's been well expressed, but I'll say a few more things to add to it. I want to comment a little bit about what we do in the group, because the course suggests that listening to God's voice is central to the spiritual practice. And Franca sort of alluded to this as well, that Spirit speaks to us in all kinds of interesting ways. We just have to, and sometimes people say it's always on the radio, we're just not tuned into the right station. So we try to tune into the right station and help each other do that. So I think the group provides for me support and accountability. I'm not sure I would get up at 7 o'clock every morning if I didn't have these wonderful women to meet and talk to and so forth. So even those days that I don't want to do it, I do it anyhow because it's good for me, and I like to be part of the group and make a contribution. Some things about what we do in the group. In the group, we have to choose something. We have to have an intention, as someone said. So we choose Holy Spirit as our guide. And that's an important concept because, as I think Erica talked about too, sometimes people will say something or something will happen and you think, wow, that didn't come from me. And that came from Spirit. Because we know that we always have at least two inner voices. One is fear, which is generated by our ego self, and one is love, which is generated by our spirit self. So I think in the group, we focus on that as well. And we make a choice to listen to Spirit's guidance, that is love, and not ego's guidance, which is fear or resentment or anger or grievances and so forth. So we let go of that kind of judgment. One thing that I've found that's been interesting for me personally is two things I wanted to talk about. One is to follow what I call nudges. People have called nudges. There are things that happen in our life, and maybe we think, oh, that's just coincidence, or that's just I don't make meaning of that. But I think there are nudges in our life. Franca pointed that out when people say something, and then you're like, well, wait a minute, that might mean something more than just that. So in the group, we hopefully share that, and then people can say, think about that again. What do you have to learn from that? What's the lesson that we learned from that? What I've also learned is that I have a practice of writing Spirit, writing a note to Spirit and getting the messages back. And it's been very productive. And I thought in closing, I would just share one of my messages. So this happened on March 23rd of this year. I got up in the morning, I wasn't feeling so good. And so I wrote down, good morning, Spirit. I am a real mess. I'm angry, tearful, cold, and numb. What am I to do, Spirit, when I feel this aching heart, fearful, wounded, abandoned, etc., etc.? So Spirit says back to me, what do you want, my brother? What is of value to you? And I say back, peace, harmony, to be loved, nurtured, cared for, touched. And Spirit said, well, all that is open to you. Just ask, be aware. Judgment is nowhere. Love is everywhere. Open your eyes, big S, big self eyes. Open your ears, smell, taste, and touch. Move through the clouds and see or experience the real world of love. And I say back to Spirit, that sounds good, but I feel so weak. And Spirit says, know that you are strong, big, joyous, and loving. As always, I am here for you. Reach out your hand, my brother, and let's see. Just reach out your hand, and I am there, and we will do it together. Amen. So I think spirit talks to us in whatever ways, and you might try writing or whatever way it comes to you. But we do that in the group, and we support each other in that process and affirm each other and send out little hearts, as Angela's doing when people are sharing their authenticity. And so I'm proud and happy to be in this group, and I'm happy to share this with you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rich. Kazi?
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's great to be with all of you. My name is Kazi Newman, and I live in Corrales, New Mexico. And it sounds like we all had very similar ways of arriving to meet Jennifer Hadley, which is I began listening to her weekly podcast on Living A Course in Miracles. And then I was very interested in her, so I joined Finding Freedom, and then eventually Masterful Living and Ascension's Pathway. I joined that in 2012, Masterful Living. And I, as mentioned earlier, I am part of the ACIM text group. I don't go to the morning group. I live on the West Coast. Most of them live on the East Coast. I am up at that time, but I'm doing other things, spiritual things. But anyway, so I like joining together with like-minded people. Most of the people who are in the group I'm prayer partners with. And there's one sentence that has always stayed out a lot, has stood out for me for a long time, which is where two or more are gathered in my name, an idea is more powerful. And what this line says to me, I think it really sums up what the groups is for me. When individuals come together with a shared spiritual intention, their collective consciousness creates a higher vibrational field that can accelerate personal growth for everyone involved. This collective energy can be more powerful than individual efforts alone. That's truly been my experience in this group, that we share our experiences, we learn from each other, and we hold each other accountable on our spiritual journey. And this shared commitment helps me and others who have also said that to stay motivated and overcome challenges. And as I said, I'm a very disciplined person, and I do the lesson every day. However, I have really found that by participating in the group, it strengthens and deepens my understandings. So there really is that synergistic higher vibration, energy vibration, when we're together in a group. We share our miracles and how we are living A Course of Miracles, and we also laugh together. I've heard that people say that's one thing we love so much because it's so important to be able to laugh. That's mostly the point. We've all attracted each other, which we're each other are mighty companions with whom we can collaborate and achieve exponential progress on the spiritual path that would not be possible alone. I'm very grateful to everyone in this group and the transformation I've experienced and continue to experience. And I appreciate the time to share. Thank you.
Thanks, Kazi. And now our most senior member, Anna Marie Wong. And I will just unmute you, Anna Marie. If you can unmute yourself. She may have some technical difficulties, but
Thank you.
if you can unmute yourself, we will be all set. And I don't know if Angela can do that for us.
I'm trying.
Okay.
There might be, Anna Marie, on your screen, a pop-up that's requesting you to unmute. Okay.
Anna Marie, it does work to just, even if there is a pop-up screen, you can just unmute the way you normally unmute. Will work.
You just touch your picture and you'll see it at the bottom or the top of your screen where it says unmute.
It might also be possible for the host to unmute everyone and then the rest of us remute ourselves.
That's a good one. I don't see where I can unmute everybody. Well.
You can also just touch the space bar and hold the space bar down. And Marie, can you just hold the space bar down? You know them. I think she's trying.
If it turns out that Anna Marie cannot get unmuted, we had a planning meeting this week and I do know some of what she was planning to share. I'll just wait for Angela to give me the thumbs up or what to do.
Yeah, perhaps we just keep
Okay.
moving forward. And Anna Marie, if you become unmuted, you just speak up at any time. Okay. And I'm not sure, also one of the other tricks can be if you can leave the meeting and re-enter the meeting. That may be complicated, but that's just one other possibility.
So Anna Marie, I'm going to speak on your behalf and you can just nod if I'm saying the truth or not. Anna Marie is what, 91?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no? Yes. 91 or 92?
91.
And she lives in New York, in the greater New York City area. And Anna Marie was one of my earliest prayer partners. And I remember how excited I was to begin the prayer partnership, but I was also very nervous. And she made me feel very comfortable right from the get-go. Now, having known her really since that 2012 time, I've seen her go through a lot of changes in her life. Lots of peaks and lots of valleys, really not unlike the rest of us, but having walked that with her, I know the challenges that she's faced. At this point in her life, she said it has taken her many years, but she now lives in peace. And the way we all know and recognize that Anna Marie lives in peace is she laughs a lot. And if she weren't staring at the screen, she'd be laughing right now because she just has an easy laugh that comes up whenever anything else seems to go differently than she expects. She told us the story of how she's been going to a heart specialist. And when she goes to the heart specialist has asked her how she sleeps. And she says, I sleep fine. I sleep great. And the specialist was saying how atypical that was for somebody her age. And she's been diagnosed with some sort of a heart condition, whatever, but she sleeps really well. And she inspires all of us because she is someone who we've seen walk this journey, these so many years, through many shifts and changes in her life. And she reminds us all that in peace, there is tranquility and a sense of a desire to laugh about things that come up now. So I thank you, Anna Marie, for walking with us. I thank you for being here today. I thank you, everybody here, for participating. And I'm going to turn it back to Angela. Thank you so much.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you all. I feel like we're gonna take a little bit different of a format today. I just feel it. But I thank you all so much for sharing. It's funny because I was part of the text group years ago. And I don't know if anyone else in the audience has, it's like it's not FOMO, but there must be a different term that's sort of like, well, it's just really just inspired by all of your dedication and that you've come together. And I just want to say to the group that it was my idea to bring this group on and to highlight different groups in the ministry. And just to emphasize the teaching that Jennifer has, what really is the foundation of her creating a community is the idea, kind of what Kazi was saying about, she knew the power of joining. She knew she had done part of her journey alone. It was not, she knew there was a better way, right? It's like the foundation of all of what we're doing. There's got to be a better way where we can lift each other up. So thank you for sharing your group. And I feel like what we'll do is we'll have Chaia perform some music, and then I think we'll just be in gallery mode. If anyone in the audience has a question for anyone, we'll just let that be in place of the breakout. Okay, so I am going to just take a moment to adjust.
Angela,
Yeah.
I'm noticing Kathleen was.
Yep, she's here. So maybe she'll have a question after. Yeah, I know. I saw that she was unmuted, and
of course.
I mean, we got to see her beautiful faces being shown, which is great. So I'm going to bring on Chaia, and we'll do some music, and then we'll have just an open time and see what comes of it. Okay, here we go.
There we go. This song is very special to me. I loved it for a long time. And then one day my daughter announced at her camp, after she'd been back from camp, that she'd won the talent show. And I didn't know that she had heard me at all sing this song. And she won it singing this song. So the fact that the story is about breaking free of your parents, but being connected and being supported by your parents, and they're celebrating your spirit, is something that I think is real for me with myself loving this song and my daughter. So you'll all know this song, I hope, and it's summertime. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your wings, and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there ain't nothing can harm you. With your mama and papa standing by. Thank you.
So beautiful. Thank you. And I'm only muting you because there's like an echo. Thank you. You dropped us back into the heart. And it's funny, as the host, I'm just feeling my way through the unfoldment of this time. And I actually feel guided to do the meditation now, just as we're sinking in. So if you feel called to close your eyes as we've been soothed into this beautiful space, and just taking a moment to give thanks to all of our beautiful speakers, that they have come to share the behind the scenes of their groups and how they work and how it's touched each of them. And if we can take a moment just to be grateful and thankful for our own community, those who come to our own minds, who have been part of the journey with us, this awakening path from fear to love. Thinking of our prayer partners, thinking of the teachers, and just being thankful for our knowing, our awareness of the power of joining. And that it really must have been Jesus's intention, is for us to join together, to be extensions of unconditional love for each other. That when we are triggered, that when we are brought to a place of fear or anxiety or doubt, that we have loving brothers and sisters to hold a mirror for us, seeing our wholeness, seeing our holiness, seeing the magnificence of our being. So just taking a moment to honor the healing that has taken place in any part of our journey when we've joined together. And then vibrationally sending our gratitude to Jennifer for her steadfastness in creating a container. That she's creating what she can, but it's creating additional containers are coming from her container. It's encouraging this group we've heard today to come together, create their own daily practice, their own touch points. So we thank her for being the launch pad and the living demonstration for us all. And personally, having a sense of all that it requires from her, let's send her a wave of support and gratitude so she can continue in the way that she feels called. And let us just give thanks for our spiritual practice, whatever it looks like, however it is for us now. And if there's any desire of our heart around our spiritual practice, if there's a way we'd like to grow it or something, anything, any desire we have, that we can declare that for ourselves, to ourselves. And so, just holding in all this gratitude, knowing that Spirit is continuously guiding us to people who could support us, to teachings, to books, to videos, to anything. Just knowing we are unconditionally loved and unconditionally supported by Spirit. We just, in this moment, we vibrate that our gratitude and the trust that this will continue. The path only deepens. The love only fills us even more, every nook and cranny. So we're grateful. Mm. Okay, so this would be normally when we would enter a breakout. And I just think we could take a few moments. I'm going to unspotlight and just see if anyone has a question at all for any group member, any inspiration. You know, it occurs to me that people might say, can I join? How do I join? Is there an application process? But if anybody had any questions, because it might be that their group is capped, but it might be that they have really found a great resource, like how you could do it, how you might start it, but your group will take its own shape. But if anybody had a question or a comment you'd like to make, just going to open it up for anyone. So if you're feeling shy, you could do the raised hand option that shows up in the participant tab under more. And let's just see if there's anything that would like to be spoken, and we'll just wait. Yes, Dean, thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for your prayer, Angela. That was just very beautiful. I've really, I've attended a lot of Sundays with Spirit, but I think I've been most touched by this one. And I appreciate all your sharing, especially Rich. I'm with Rich in the men's group that meets on every other Wednesday. And I was in a group for a Christian group for 13 years. And we met we only met once a week, but we met. I mean, it was rare when we didn't meet. And I tell you, it brings, to me, it's like bringing heaven to earth. And I think that's what we're all about, is bringing to heaven to earth. And I know that you support each other, and then it spreads out from there. And there is a power in joining. I did the Course in Miracles all by myself. But I had a beautiful, there's no accidents. I had a beautiful setting. I was single at the time, and I had my own work scheduled. I'd get up and take my time, have my coffee, and I read through the entire Bible. I read through the entire text, and I did my lessons. And it was back when there was no internet and all that. Like someone here said, we had those little cards, and I did house calls for my profession, and I would put that little card on my dashboard. And I would not move on from that lesson until I thought that I had done it justice. So it took me, I think, more than a year to do all the lessons. But it's just interesting. I mean, the form it takes is just the form that's calling to you. And there's so much out here nowadays with the internet and YouTube and all that. I just encourage everyone to take the form that works for you. I'm in Arizona. I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. for, if I do, I'm going to do yard work before the sun comes up this time of year. So, yeah, I just wanted to thank you all for being here and sharing yourselves, and for the love that we all. My heart went out for Anne Marie and not being able to get off mute, but that's what we do. We take care of each other. We love each other as we are, regardless. And there's nothing wrong. You know what I mean? And it was beautiful the way that Karen was prepared and spoke for her. So I just want to thank you all. It's been a very wonderful session today.
Thank you so much, Dean. Appreciate it. Anybody else like to share anything or ask a question? Yay, Bo.
I just couldn't help but embrace how much alike we are. I found so many similarities in finding a group, starting a group, holding the space. My internet went out part of the time, so I did miss part of what was said, but thank you so much. And I too decided to have a study group. I call it a study group. It's a reading group because of COVID, and was inspired by one of Jennifer's speakers, and was inspired to dive deep into A Course in Miracles because of the interview that Jennifer had with Gary Renard. So just so many similarities, and how we all feel the love of this community and are able to extend it out to our own communities. And I just love how one I feel with everyone here. So thank you so much for coming and sharing. This was just beautiful. I can't wait to watch the recording.
Hey, thank you, Bo. Beautiful. Yay. Go ahead, Dean.
Oh, I just would be remiss if I didn't think, is it Chaia May? Beautiful. Thank you for your music. The Summertime. That's the most soulful version I've ever heard. Thank you so much.
Yes, she took me somewhere and I was like, okay. So I'm just going to pray after that because we went deeply. Yes, beautiful. Okay, anyone else? Okay, so I will take it from here. I will do a few announcements and then I'll pass it to Chaia and she'll razzle dazzle us one more time. And then we'll pray out. And then Chaia, also, when it's your turn, if you have any announcements, you can feel free to share them. So let's see. We have a few upcoming events. And before I let you know about them, if you feel inspired to support our service, we do have a way that you can make a one-time or recurring donation. So I will put the link for that in the chat here to support us. And it's so amazing how we're cruising through summer, as you may know, and we are heading into our fall offerings soon. We do have, before fall comes, we do have a forgiveness workshop. So our forgiveness workshops are monthly, they are free, and they're hosted mainly by Jennifer, which is cool because she just started doing that this year, but she does some teaching and she also gets right into using the forgiveness letter. So coming to our forgiveness workshops, you jump right into actually doing the process. And so whatever circumstance you choose to work on, you can just get right down to business and do some forgiveness work with her live. So that is happening August 9th, Saturday, August 9th at 3 p.m. Eastern is our next forgiveness workshop. And then we have our deep dive series that happens every month. So Jennifer goes deeply into a topic. She just had one yesterday on unblocking the flow of your energy, time, and money. And then upcoming in August will be family freedom and healing. So I think Masterful Living used to be called Family Freedom, something like that. So for deep dive workshops, if you're interested, I think they're 2.5 to 3 hours long, but you can check out this link. And then finally, we are wrapping up our End My Self-Sabotage 6-week challenge. We're wrapping that up in 2 weeks. And then we head into our first fall offering. It's not technically fall, but it's getting there. It's September. So we will have Stop Playing Small already coming. So Stop Playing Small, which is 2 4-day weekends. It goes Friday to Monday, 2 weeks in September. And that's an online retreat. And there's just a lot of, Stop Playing Small is made up of a lot of breakouts. You get an opportunity to work through all the ways that you are playing small, any blocks you're having in your life, lots of dialogue with other participants, lots of live work, less listening, more working, doing the deep work. So I think those are my 3 announcements. That was technically 4. And so I'm going to pass over to you, Chaia. You can make any announcements you'd like. You can take us somewhere. And so here you go. You get the virtual stage.
My goodness. Well, I just want to thank Angela, and so lovely to be in the same place with Karen and Angela, because I don't get to see everyone as often as I'd like, so it's lovely. And to meet all of you, I'm glad that I can help with the music to take us somewhere where we don't usually get to go. I just have to say I'm so grateful. I took the songs that I've written over my different lifetime of teaching and put them together for children in a musical, and wrote a story with my daughter, and we just produced it. The kids were performing it, and I didn't think it was going to work till the last 5 minutes, and then they rose to the occasion when the adults walked into the room and sat down. So there's something about the music that it seemed like it reached all generations a little bit, maybe through the children's song. But when I heard that there's an African tradition that when you go into the forest when you're pregnant, the women go into the forest and hear a song that speaks to them. And then that song was the song for their child. And this was the song melody that came to me when I was pregnant with my first child. And we went through a very difficult journey. I couldn't imagine a harder journey for myself in terms of emotionally, that we have come through now in such glorious colors that now she calls me excited every night to tell me what she's doing. She's a chef, and she's taken on a bigger responsibility, and we always hoped she would and knew she could. So this song is a celebration of my dear daughter, who has been through so much and taught me so much. I call her my Zen master. And I have a lot of lyrics that I can't even decide which ones to do. So I will kind of scoot through these, but I mean, choose it. It may not flow exactly as it usually does, because some of this is new that I just wrote for these shows. But it's called If You Smile. Of course, I'm having trouble here with this. Okay. And it's dedicated to my daughter, Hannah. And to everyone who needs to remember, like Richard said, that we need to think the opposite of what we're feeling, and then that thought will take us back to where we need to go. That's my practice right now. Whenever I'm in fear, I was reading, take yourself to the opposite feeling and dwell there. If you smile every day that the sun brings, if you smile every day that you're in your sweet dreams, then you'll have an extra smile for when the skies aren't so blue, and the world will smile right back at you. If you knew how you drew people's hearts in, that it's true, it's in you, just hard to see when you look for it outside. We're just a mirror to your light. Just be you, anything you do, no need to hide. If you smile every day when the sun glows, you will see that the world gives you rainbows. The sun where clouds will part and show your true heart. From the happy thoughts that you choose, you will wipe away the blues, and the sun rays will shine out from you. Everyone has their doubts that the sun may not come out. It just may be it needs to rest to do its best. Rain will pour, even more clouds will gather. Walk out the door, one step more, it won't matter. For even when you poof, we know that we are waterproof. The storm won't last, just hold fast to your path. The storm won't last, just hold fast to your path. There you go. Thank you for everything. I would just say any announcement is, if you're nearby, my daughter and I have a fantastic barbecue with music that she hosts in my backyard in Rhode Island. We had 80 people there of every color, types, spirit, every kind of person you can imagine in our yard. And we have a lake, and we're near the beach, so come and visit. It's free. Just bring something to eat and we share it. And it's August 2nd in the afternoon in Rhode Island in Indian Lake. And ask me and I'll send you the address, but it was a highlight of my summer for the last few summers. And thank you, and I wish you a happy time till I see you next.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I did extend an invitation in the chat. Come to Indian Lake. I was there. It was fantastic. It was like a Woodstock type amazing coming together of people. Okay, and I also found, Chaia, your Amazon link to your children's books, and people want to check out the books that you have published. That could be fun. And so thank you again for bringing your beautiful spirit to us. And thank you again to our beautiful guests. So thank you, Karen. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Franca. Thank you, Anna Marie. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Erica. I think I got everybody. Yes, and thank you all who have stayed on and listened and been a part of it. May we continue to go forth and be inspired to live these teachings. So I'm going to close this with a prayer. So with my hands on my heart, truly grateful, truly, truly grateful to have witnessed the love of this beautiful Course in Miracles group. Truly grateful to witness the love of our community. Truly grateful for the way that we have been led to A Course in Miracles, for the ways that it has opened our hearts, our minds, and opened our eyes to another way of seeing. And we are grateful to continue to be dedicated with a sense of ease, a sense of gentleness to our practice, knowing it is the gift we give ourselves to choose to frame our day in truth, to choose to put on our truth glasses. And anytime they get fogged up, we can turn to our beloved brothers and sisters, or we come back to the Course, or we just simply be quiet, be still. And as Robin said, make a decision, make a declaration, be willing to come back home to peace. So we are so grateful to just bless, to know we are blessed, and to bless all beings everywhere as we hold the truth that in truth we are home with God already. So let us go forward and experience heaven on earth through our moment by moment decisions. So in gratitude, we let the good be. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Right. Thank you, everyone. Feel free to unmute and say goodbye if you want. We could have a cacophony.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Blessings.
Blessing.
Bye, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Blessings, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.